So, as it being the second year of the program, how has the program progressed/grown, and how do you envision its future?
It's been interesting from the start because we never knew exactly what to expect. We had high hopes. I think they were fulfilled in ways we didn't anticipate last year. I love the connection the students made to London, but also the connection they made among themselves, and I guess I feel the connection that I made to them. So it taught me something about bringing students to London. What it taught me was that it is about this global experience that you can gain by leaving home. Everyone expects that, but it's about much more than that. It's about the particularity of London, what it can offer in the way of its change and diversity, and the way it's a youth city. No matter what else it is, it's a city of youth. But it also taught me, and this is the biggest surprise, that it's as important for students to connect with one another as it is to connect with new people they meet from other points in the world. And I think that's happened even more rapidly this year than last year, partly because I was conscious of that, not something to discourage, not to tell students, oh, separate, find somebody you've never seen from the United States of America. Instead, to realize that part of this is about banding together and making friends that are not simply American friends, they're American friends who shared global experience with you.
If you could pick your top 3 favorite things about London.
That's a hard question. I think you've heard me spout my love of London often enough. I do love the city. Sometimes people at home, my friends, will say, what is it with you? Why do you like it so much? And then I'm always embarrassed because I don't have good reasons. And then I'm happy because I don't want to have good reasons. I want to feel that it's instinctive, that it just is a point of connection between something in myself and something I see in the outer world. But then when I'm forced to think about it, it's certainly the fact that it's the most diverse city in the world, without question. And diversity not in a trivial sense of just meaning that people have different look or different origins, but diversity in the way people have different ambitions, have different backgrounds, are conscious of their difference, and are really conscious of being patient with their differences. So that's the number one thing, is just the sheer exuberance of life in London. There's more life in London, which is why I like London more than any other place. The other thing that I think means so much to me is that it seems an experimental city. This is partly connected with its being a youth city, but it's also the fact that politically it's a bit of a stranger in the country of the United Kingdom. It's going through the agony of Brexit. Everyone knows that life is going to change here, but it also seems to me that people are up for the change. And then I guess the third thing, and it really is a third thing, is the culture of London. People always assume that because I teach and I'm an academic and they think of me as intellectual, whereas in fact I'm much more emotional than intellectual. They just assume that I come here for the museums and the galleries, but I don't. I come here for the life, but I can't deny that it's just a pleasure to see all of the creativity that can gather in one place as people inspire one another.
All right, if you could pick a favorite place in London.
Yeah, the favorite place I've discovered in London is very near where I live, a district of London called Maida Vale. When we had to decide whether we would take the big step of committing to living in Maida Vale, we went to a little green around the corner called Paddington Recreation Ground. And that's become something like the center of London for me. It's a small green space where there's every breed of dog, and there's every kind of person, every language, every generation, all the children, very small, all the old people, helped by all the people in between. And so to me, it's near home, it's not home, it's a place where home meets the world for me. So,
what do you want the students in the program to gain from studying in London in particular?
That's why we started the program. It's why I pushed as hard as I could for the program to begin for the students, because I had an experience when I was just a few years older than the students are. I came here and I realized that it's partly about encountering London, which is a magical place I think so many of you will go back to, but it's also a chance to discover a lot in yourself that you didn't know you had to discover. Your ability to confront surprise and difference, a kind of humility in the face of all that you see in the city, also a kind of confidence that goes alongside the humility. You think that You've learned how to negotiate this complex city, and that has been so marked and notable in the 2 years of the program. Watching students now, halfway through the program, just the different way you all carry yourselves as you leave Regent's Park and go out into the city. So it's about, yes, meeting the globe and meeting London in particular, but it's also so much about meeting yourself.
My favorite experience so far has been like the second or third week that we were here, like a group of UVA people. We just started playing cards and we didn't really know each other by then, but it was like such a great moment to just laugh and get to know each other. And so far that's been my favorite experience.
I think that my favorite thing about London is definitely the food. There's really good food here.
Favorite experience would probably have to be going to Shoreditch because I'm prone to getting lost around here, and only in Shoreditch when I get lost do I always end up somewhere more interesting and not terrifying.
The really cool museums we have, but more so than that, just the art scene in general.
My favorite experience was when we went and saw a play with Levenson called An Adventure, and on the train home we ended up being in the same car as the main actor, so we got to talk to him for like 20 minutes. It was really cool.
So when I first got into the program, I was really excited because I never had the opportunity to travel to another country besides Mexico. So just traveling to Europe and then taking little short trips to Ireland, and then I'm going to France and Germany. So I think that experience in itself is just very unique to this program that many students will not have the opportunity if they don't do London first.
So definitely I think I'm most glad for coming abroad for a semester because it's really given me a better perspective as to how the world works and just giving me a good taste of what independence feels like, even more so than just regular college. Because not only are you at school doing schoolwork, but you're really out in the real world, like doing real life activities, learning how to manage your finances, but like still going out and having fun and doing fun, like adult things, I guess.
I guess you just get to meet so many different people, and also if you do it in a group like this, you make really good friends with the people who are also in your program in a way that's, I guess, harder to do sometimes when there's like 20,000 other students with you, so yeah.
I'm super glad that I did this program because without it I wouldn't have been able to do anything that I've done, like go to any countries, learn so much through Professor Levenson and Divan and all my Regents instructors as well. I think like this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing, and I could have went to Charlottesville, but I know that I don't regret going here at all.
I think it makes for a very good initial college experience. Not that I have anything to compare it to, but as much as college forces you to develop independence, I think going to college in another country forces you to develop even more independence. So I think like learning to ride the tube by myself was good for me. Now I kind of know about cardinal directions.
I'm from Virginia, and I'm from Northern Virginia, like 20 kids from my high school. I have a really big high school, so 20 kids all were gonna come and go to UVA. And I wanted an experience that was different. I didn't want to just go to UVA and just be with the same people. I wanted to like have a bigger experience, sort of. I wanted to go somewhere really different.
I'm glad to be in London because I actually get to live here. I mean, now I know like what my favorite like metro lines are. Like the Circle line is the worst line that you could ever take in your life. Don't do that. So really like living in a city and getting to know it is an amazing opportunity to step out of your comfort zone, really experience something that you can't experience anywhere else. Even if you travel to other places, no other place is gonna be like London. They're gonna have their own characteristics and their own traits. So getting to know London is really a unique and very exciting and amazing experience and opportunity.
If you're thinking about doing this program, you should just do it because honestly, every single person that I've talked to here said they do not regret coming to this program. I do not regret it. Like literally, it's incredible. It's an experience that you don't get at Charlottesville. It's an experience you're going to want to have for the future.
Okay, so like when you sign up for the program, there's not like a whole lot of description about what you're going to be doing once you get here. So just remember that you're going to go on a lot of trips, and also it'd be nice to familiarize yourself with the tube station before you get here, because it was kind of like trial by fire, and this is like the first time I was on a subway in like 10 years. So I was like, oh no, there's no public transportation where I'm from, and I don't know how to use this. So you should prepare yourself to not get lost, and then also be expecting that you're gonna get like dragged out on trips. And even though I say dragged out, that doesn't mean that they're going to be not fun, but it just means that you're going to have a lot of trips all the time, and sometimes you're going to be rushing back and forth, and though you're going to enjoy them, sometimes it's stressful.
One thing I might say is resist a little bit the urge to travel every weekend, because yeah, there's a lot of Europe to see and it can be really exciting, but it's better to stay here long enough that you stop being a tourist and know one city really deeply than it is to know a lot of cities really shallowly.
For this program, I would really say if you're thinking about it, just apply. That's what I was told when I went and I talked to somebody at UVA. And yeah, I mean, it's the best decision I think I could have made.
If you're coming to London, it does not rain as much as you think it's going to. Like, my raincoat is useless, and I could have brought an extra sweater with it, which you should do because it's cold. Go to the museums, because they are amazing, and if there's one thing I'm going to regret, it's going to be not spending as much time in museums as I could have.
Invest either in the seasonal clothing of wherever you're going to be in, or be ready to spend a lot of money to get that seasonal clothing, because it's really cold right now, and I'm happy I was ready, but a lot of people weren't.
Your education in this semester expands so far beyond the small gates of Regent's University, and it's very important that you take the time to experience the city and its culture and its countless experiences outside of the classroom, because I would argue that they're even more valuable than any statistics you're going to learn in class.
So, being in London has done this really cool thing where I feel like for the first time I know what it means to be from the United States. Based on my interactions with other people and the way I'm different from everyone. And like in the United States, when people insult the United States, I often don't care, or I'm on the side of the insulter. But for the first time here, I feel this kind of pride for where I come from. Different than nationalism, but like I know who I am now.
If I was to say how London has changed me the most, I'd say I've learned so much about myself, and I've kind of come out of my shell. I've been pretty extroverted my entire life, but coming here, it's like a whole nother level. I feel like everybody can talk to everyone, there's no awkwardness, and I feel like even people on the street, some of them are mean, some of them are nice. I feel like just meeting new people, going out to a pub and just talking to random people, stuff like that, like I wouldn't do that back home. And now I feel like when I do go back home, I'll be able to talk to people I normally wouldn't talk to. And I feel like for me, that's like a big thing because I just love people. So it's like London's kind of like brought me one step closer to kind of being comfortable interacting with people. So it's really cool.
London's definitely changed me because it's made me realize that I have to have more agency in myself and force myself to go out and actively do things to get what I want out of life and my experiences.
I think that while I might not be changing London as a whole, I think any interaction you have with someone can make you, like, it'll change you and them. Like, I went on this one, like, tour thing led by someone who works at Regent's. He took us to a bunch of different flea markets and was telling us history of London, like, in relation to the places we were walking by. And then he was telling us how this was his London, and he's telling it to us so it can become part of our London. And so I think by sharing those experiences with anyone, or even you who's watching this video right now, it's making it part of your London or your experience here.
Hi, my name is Mary Byron. I am a first year at the University of Virginia, and I am participating in the UVA London First program. I made this video as a way to document our reflection throughout the semester, and right now it is 2 days before we leave London. That's when I finally got around to editing this video. So there's a lot happening. I just finished taking down all of the stuff off my walls in the dorm room, packing my suitcase. Yeah, a lot going on, but making this video was a really rewarding experience, and being in London in general has been just an amazing time. I'm in love with London and everything here, and all the people I've met, and Professor Levenson is spectacular, and everything about it has just been the most rewarding experience, and I would not change it for anything. So yeah, I just wanted to say hi. Thank you for watching. This is me. Bye.